And what's up, YouTube? Hefe coming to ya, Captain Awesome's Fish Room. Look at that wisteria booming. What's up, guys? Not really. Well, I guess you kind of call it an update. Always have updates. Got plenty of them, man. Look at those little Look at those little bubbles, man. God. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Look at that. Look at those little bubbles right there. Man, God, I love plants. Anyways, guys, today's video is going to be more of a dive inside the life of Hefe Captain Awesome Jeff's Fish Room. One of my buddies on YouTube, William's Fish Tank is his YouTube channel, guys. Check him out, sub him up. Real cool guy. Young guy, but has his head on straight and is doing great things in his hobby. Definitely going to be one of the big wigs inside the hobby community. No doubt about that. William asked if I could do a video on the products I use from like NLS, Hikari, Prime, Safe, and whatever else I use. So I figured, you know, hell yeah, you know, I mean, that's kind of a Q&A Friday type deal, but I figured with Q&A Friday, y'all want to kind of get, you know, more detailed information and stuff like that. Now, of course, I'm going to show you the stuff that I use. Look at Micro Machine, by the way. God, he's a beast. Now, of course, I'm going to tell you why I use the stuff that I use and stuff like that. But, you know, I mean, I figured it was a video in and of itself. You know, I feel like, you know, I mean, I've been in the hobby for a while. You know, I think I have a good grasp of, you know, what to do and what's going on with things, and, you know, I mean, by no means do I consider myself an expert. I never will consider myself. I'm doing a water change, guys. Y'all know me. I never will consider myself an expert in this hobby, simply for the reason that, in my opinion, to be an expert in this hobby, you have to know about brackish, saltwater, freshwater, the different types of freshwater, plants, substrates, all that stuff, guys. And you know, now there is newbie hobbyists, and then there's novice hobbyist, and then there's advanced hobbyist. Now, I do consider myself an advanced hobbyist, but you know, that's, I mean. So I think it'd be cool to let y'all in, you know, the stuff that I use and why I use it, why I think it's good, and stuff like that. Now, there's plenty of other people out there that probably use different stuff than I do and swear by it, and that's fine. That's what works for them, guys. So by no means am I pushing anything on y'all. I'm not saying that what I use is the best by any means. It's just simply what works best for me, and what's given me so much luck in this hobby. So, well, sorry guys, I'm doing a water change at the same time, and you know, once it gets a little bit full, I gotta shut off this water, and sometimes I can get a, hold on, there we go, alright, anyways, okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start off with the types of food that I use, guys. Now, all of y'all know that I do use Hikari. I've used Hikari for the longest time. I love Hikari. It's a great food. They definitely have species-specific diets that match the nutritional needs of whatever fish you're trying to feed. And it's a great food. However, I also use NLS, which is a new food inside my fish room. I stopped using it there for a while, but, you know, the reason I stopped using it, it just wasn't worth not using what I bought, you know what I'm saying? It's a great food. I use that as well. I also use Omega-1. Now, with Omega-1, and more than the majority of my Omega-1 products are like shrimp pellets, regular krill, and then those little shrimps and stuff like that. I don't use the flakes or the pellets they make, and you know, that's just because I use Hikari and NLS. I've never really gotten into the Omega brand of pellets and flakes. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. It's probably a great food. I just never used it, so I can't recommend it. Now, the reason I use these foods, guys, you know, like I mentioned, is that they are species specific. The ingredient labels are out of this world for either Hikari, NLS, or Omega-1. They're definitely the top 3 foods inside this community. You know, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. You know, I'm not dogging anybody that uses Tetra or anything like that. But they are species specific. The ingredients in these are made from quality meats, quality vegetables and stuff like that. And, you know, then that's for all these foods. So that's the reason I use them, is it's a quality food. And with something that your fish are ingesting, you don't want to necessarily skimp on that part of the hobby. There's plenty of other things you can be cheap with, but food is definitely not something I recommend being cheap with. Now, this little bag here, guys, is a little sample that Angels Plus sent me of their shrimp bites. I haven't used it yet, so I can't really say, you know, that I like it or not, but I'm sure it'll be good. You know, I'm going to feed it to some jaguar fry and stuff like that. So moving right along out of the food area, I'm going to go inside plant food area. Now, most of y'all know that I did get out of the plant part of the hobby for a while there, but I jumped right back in. As y'all can see, I have plants in 3 of my tanks now. Let me go check my water, guys. Yep, I gotta turn it on again. There we go. But as far as plant food is concerned, I only use Seachem products and API products. I think they're API. Yeah, API. I only use Seachem and API, mostly Seachem. The only thing API that I use is the all-around plant food. So, you know, but I use Seachem because, again, it's a quality ingredient. They make all kinds. I mean, like with API, they make that one plant food, and I think a couple other things, the CO2 booster and stuff like that. But with Seachem, they sell an entire line, and they actually make these ingredients to work together. So that's why I use mostly Seachem for my plant stuff, especially root tabs. These are my favorite. They last for a while. I mean, I think I change those every 3 to 4 months, and you know, I get great results from it. And as far as the Excel and the other nutrients and you know, micro, macro, all that stuff, the reason I chose Seachem is, you know, the quality. They make things that work all together, and you know, it's really a quality thing. And yeah, you do pay a little bit extra for the name, but with that name comes quality and, you know, reliability. Now, as far as water testing, for quick everyday tests, I use these Tetra test strips. They're not 100% accurate, guys, but they are at least 90% accurate, and they'll give you a good idea of what's going on inside your tank. And they're cheap, and you get a lot of tests out of you know, one little strip. With the little multi-test, you get chlorine, nitrite, nitrate, ammonia, alkalinity, hardness, and pH, and you get the results fast. So that's the reason I use these Tetra Easy Strips for everyday testing. They're cheap. You can cut them in half, and you get 50 instead of 25, and they work great in my opinion. I mean, they're not 100% accurate, but guys, they'll give you a good idea of what's going on. Now, for regular test, you know, I test my water completely once a month, and I mean, unless of course I see something going on in there. For that, I do use the API Master Freshwater Test Kit. You know, you get over 800 tests, and I'm just going to hold this thing. You get over 800 tests. It is extremely accurate. As far as the pH, the high range and the low range, there is a calculation you can do between the two to get your to get a closer idea of what your exact pH is. So, and I mean, if pH is a big deal. Every time you move up 1, you're actually multiplying that by 10, guys. So pH is a big deal. So I don't want to say it's something that you don't really have to worry about. But when you're testing with these, you know, you can get a general range closer than you can with the little test strips. So that's why I use that. As far as medications, I do not have many. If I have a really, really bad case of ick that turning up my temperature and a little aquarium salt can't fix, which most of the time it does, I'll use Quick Cure, which you can tell I haven't used at all. I've had this bottle for probably 1, 2, maybe even 3 years. This is the best ick treatment for freshwater that I know of. Quick Cure is definitely the best ick treatment I've ever used, and like I said, I've been doing it for a little while, guys. So, but that's my favorite ick cure. Of course, I hardly ever use it. I think that's only the second bottle I've ever bought. Now, for other things like really bad cases of fin rot, funguses, stuff like that, cyanobacteria, I use erythromycin. It's an antibacterial, which is what blue-green algae is. It's not actually an algae, guys. It's a bacteria. But that's what I use to treat that. Again, I don't use it very often, but more often than not, I'm using it to treat blue-green algae, which I showed y'all in one of my earlier videos. And for other things, like if a fish gets beat up really bad, I use Melafix and Primafix. Those are the only 2 real medications that I've used often because of the fish that I keep. These are the best in my opinion. And so, I mean, as far as filters, guys, I only use really Marineland, Fluval, Aqua Clears, and box filters, sponge filters, reticulated foam, stuff like that. And you kind of get a picture of the brands that I like. I love Seachem products. I'm a huge believer in Seachem. I'm a huge believer in API, Hikari, NLS, Omega-1. Now, as far as water conditioners, the only thing I use to condition my water, guys, is Prime or Safe. I don't have any Prime right now, but I do have Safe. It's really concentrated, and it lasts a lot longer. This 250 grams treats up to 50,000 gallons, so, and if you can tell, I got this about 2 months ago, so if you can tell how many water changes I do, guys, it's almost time for a new bottle. So it's great stuff. It also detoxifies ammonia and nitrites to help your filter remove them better. And it eliminates heavy metals, chlorine, chloramines, all that fun stuff. So, just to give y'all an idea of what I use, William, buddy, that's for you. That's the stuff I use in my fish room. That's the stuff I always stand by. I always recommend it to anybody. As far as heaters, guys, I love the Eheim heaters. Those are the best in my opinion. What is it? I believe it's, here, let me pull one out and try to get an idea. Uno momento, por favor. Top fin heaters. I like those as well. It is a kind of a cheaper brand, guys, but it does work well. I do have a high door heater, and I've heard bad reports on them, and I myself I'm starting to dislike them as well. They're not accurate with the temperature that reads on the dial, so I'm gonna stop using those. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much what I use inside the fish room. And I know I say a lot, guys, but I have a lot of stuff on my mind, and I can't always get it all out in the time limit that I have. But to give you a quick sneak peek of the video that's coming this weekend, guys, it's going to be an awesome video. It's definitely not going to be in the fish room, but it's going to be a review and a shot of how to use this particular item that I picked up yesterday, and I'll give y'all a quick glance of it right there. But yeah, so that's going to be coming on probably Saturday. I'll take y'all out and show y'all all about that, tell you what it is. So with that said, guys, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've done. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was useful, and hope y'all have an awesome Thursday. And we'll see y'all next time, guys. Adios. Got a fresh batch of Jaguars in there.